Oh, fireworks. Shit. Okay.
Hello viewers, welcome back to Soundslice. Have you ever wondered what Blinding Lights by The Weeknd would sound like if it was made in a reggae style? Me neither. Let's But we decided to find out anyways, so let's go and dig into the process. This is the first episode of the wheel challenge. I'm doing this, but they can't actually see the cup. It's a challenge where we have two wheels, one with songs and the other one with genres, and we spin both wheels and do a cover of the song that comes out in the genre that comes out. This is the spinning on the wheel we did last week. It's a lie, it happened a much longer ago. Spin the wheel, man.
Okay, here we go. Song. Wheel number 1, song. Let's go. Okay, that's not bad. That's a good tune. I think from all the songs that we could have picked, that is probably the most famous one at the moment. Probably. Cool. And Leo, you've heard this song before, have you?
No.
No. Okay, so should we move on to wheel number 2? Here we go. Oh my god.
Oh wait. Which one?
What?
Which one is it pointing? I can't see what it's pointing.
What do you mean you can't see it? Well, it's reggae. Okay, so everyone watching, it's reggae. I'm gonna spin the wheel again, but
oh, is that where the pointy thing is?
Yeah.
Ah, I thought it was at the top. I thought it was gonna be electronic. Let's do a little disclaimer, and let's say obviously this is for fun.
Yeah, so basically we're doing this just for fun. We are not claiming to be experts in these genres of music. We're trying to understand the basics and then trying to do something with it. So I hope you can learn something. We've been learning a lot, and I think, yeah, that's it.
But yeah, so we did this for fun. Still very electronic, but let's go and see what's happening in the project. I started with the electric piano, simple preset in Logic, as you can see here, and the rhythm is just what I think a reggae guitar rhythm would sound like, and I decided to use the electric piano instead because Blinding Lights is an electronic song, and I wanted to keep that sort of electronic into it, hence the electric piano, which we hear here. And from there, I took it onto the guitar to play a simple sort of arpeggio chord progression that would match the rhythm of the electric piano. And this is the main guitar. Okay, so from there, everything I had left to do was layering some other guitars to follow the original melody of the song, which I very simply did using the same preset here. That was the intro, whereas for the actual verse, I used a 12-meter guitar that introduces itself alone with the start of the lyrics, and then is joined by the main sort of like arpeggio guitar in the second half of the verse. Now for the actual intro, easy peasy, just layered a couple of guitars doing harmonics on the 12th fret, and this is what it sounds like. Obviously layered with another guitar that sort of follows the intro lead guitar. Layer them both, tandem, and that's the end of the intro and the verse. Whereas for the chorus, it's just chords. I didn't want to overpower the vocal melody. I felt that in the verse, it was more important to have a bass for the vocals, whereas I wanted to leave it more airy in the chorus. And so it's just chords, as you can hear here. That's it for the guitar. The bass, really simple, just figured out a progression. Don't really know much about reggae bass. This felt like it fit. So yeah, this is the bass line. Easy. Once you layer all this, you got a nice little instrumental bass. All that's left to do is do the vocals. They were hard. We went to a studio, I had to record them. We did a second session of recording at my house, only to come to the conclusion that there was no way I was going to reach that vocal. But it taught us something. It taught us that there's ways around not reaching a note. So we cheated, and instead of singing on the actual melody of the song, we changed the pitch, harmonized it in 3 layers. Easy. So the vocals in the pre-chorus, the harmonization, 3 layers, like I said.
I can see clearly when you're gone. I can see clearly when you're gone.
As you can see, apart from having said the lyrics wrong, this was done sort of like, I think Andres taught me this. He highlights single words to make it punchy, so that's exactly what happened in that last recording. I just sang some of the words to put accents on bits rather than harmonize the whole thing and maybe having it very overpowering to the whole of it.
Okay, now for the vocals, in terms of what I did, it's very simple. Well, the first thing we should mention is that we are doubling it. So doubling is a very common technique where you have a phrase, it could be the verse, could be the chorus, and what you do, you record it once and it sounds great, and then you record it again, the same phrase, and you layer them one on top of the other. So as you can see, it's the same phrase, but there's slight differences in volume and even just in tone. They together add up. In terms of the processing of the vocals, well, there's nothing crazy happening here. Number one, we do have pitch correction. Yeah, in this case, I'm using, as always, Wave Tunes. Waves Tune because it's just cheap and it gets the job done. If you're using Ableton, oh, fireworks. Okay, so Wave Tunes, it gets the job done and it's affordable. If you have Logic Pro, then you can just use so that's Waves Tune. Then we have Nectar, but really you can process everything without Nectar. What Nectar is doing is adding a bit of EQing the lows out, highlighting some of the higher frequencies. So we've got a compressor, which normally we do compress every single vocal. We've got reverb and delay. So again, very simple kind of processing chain. Let me just play it with and without the effects. So straight from the mic.
I've been on my own for long enough.
Okay, that's just the mic. Then we add the pitch correction.
I've been on my own for long enough.
Sounding better already. Then we add the saturation, de-esser. These things are normal.
I've been on my own for long enough.
We EQ the bass out.
I've been on my own for
some of it anyway. Then we add the compressor.
I've been on my own for long enough.
We have reverb and delay.
I've been on my own for long enough.
So as you can see, that makes a big difference in this kind of song, reverb and delay. I'll run it through another EQ just to, again, take the lows out and highlight the higher frequencies.
I've been on my own for long enough.
To me, that makes the biggest difference in vocals, just basically always EQ them and take the low out. And then I basically apply very similar settings to the second track. The philosophy behind the processing chain is pretty much the same. So this is just one track.
Long enough, maybe you can show me how to love.
And now this is with 2 tracks, and the second track be processed very similarly.
Long enough, maybe you can show me how to love. Maybe.
So again, the doubling takes it to another level. Okay, now here's the 2 tracks in the context of the mix.
Long enough, maybe you can show me how to love. Maybe.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So if I had to like recap in terms of what's been done to the vocals, number 1, make sure you compress them. Make sure you take the lows out using an EQ. Add reverb and delays. You know, be careful not to make it too muddy, but that makes a huge difference. And lastly, I think the thing that will take your vocals to the next level is to double them. Again, I wouldn't do it all the time, but it certainly always works, always makes it sound different and makes it sound slightly more expensive, if that makes sense. You know, it makes it sound almost like whoever is singing, it has a voice that, you know, nobody else in the planet has. So yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the vocals. So yeah. The drums. So for the drums, you know, personally, I come from a rock or a pop kind of background, so I had no idea what reggae drums were about. So I looked a couple of tutorials up, and then I found kind of like the crucial differences between a conventional pop or even hip hop beat and a reggae beat. So I'm going to show you on my DAW. So I use Ableton. So if you can see here, I've got a simple rock beat, 4x4, and we highlight the 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'd be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and so you can see it's always in the beat that it gets highlighted. Now in a reggae beat, it's a lot more subtle. There's probably better ways of making a reggae beat sound better, but the main thing that I took away from everything I could find was that the kick drum would never land on the downbeat of 1 or even 3. It would go along with the snare. Everything would be basically toned down in terms of, it's more about feeling and less about strength. So this is a very basic reggae beat, and instead of having the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 highlighted everything, we just highlight the 2 and the 4, and we do it in a more subtle kind of way. Instead of having a full snare shot, we actually have a side stick. So, so this is how it sounds, a very basic kind of reggae beat. So again, as you can see, it's the 2 and the 4 that's being highlighted. So let's contrast it again with the pop beat or the rock beat. And then we added just a few more things. Obviously, that's just not very entertaining. So we added more interesting patterns on the hi-hat. Let me just show you. Okay, so then we added some more hits on the snare, just to make it more interesting. So you've got more interesting hi-hat patterns, you've got more interesting snare patterns as well. And then we added some toms, as you can see here. I'm gonna add the toms. So you can hear the hi-hat pattern there, snares and the toms. Anyway, so that's pretty much the point. So the bottom line, I think, with the reggae drums is, you know, make it subtle. It's not about strength or power. It's more about feeling. And a lot of the times you'll be highlighting parts of the beat that are not frequent to highlight in rock. So yeah, I think less is more, I think, when it comes to reggae drums.
So that was the end of the making of this cover. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you found it useful. Maybe you learned something, maybe you want to teach us something. So obviously suggestions, criticism, negative criticism especially, mean criticism is always welcome in the comments.
Be as nasty as you can, you know?
Yeah, insult us in some way. Anyways, let us know if you like the idea of the wheel challenge, and we'll make more. Hopefully they do, because you already have made another one.
Yeah, we're kind of working already on another one, so I hope you guys love this stuff, because there's more coming.